update of August for housing market in Ayden, North Carolina.
But first, let's hit it. Hi, it's Alan Victoria. Welcome to our Talent Podcast.
And if this is your first time in our podcast YouTube channel, please subscribe in our channel and get notified.
Unlimited call text all the time at 252-327-3357. We love talking to you. Do not be shy. Also, if you're a buyer or seller, don't forget to grab our buyer's guide and seller's guide in the description below.
Exactly. And the aim of this video is really giving you an insight to monitor the market as home buyers or home sellers. And that's why we are here, to give you all this statistic and of course the recommendation at the end. Please stay tuned with the channel.
Okay, so also you get all this market news on the TV saying, hey, this is what's happening in like California. But California has a very different market here than the Ayden, North Carolina market. So we're trying to give you the real data and the real numbers of what's happening right here, right now, so you can make a decision based on real facts and not, oh, the market is melting down in San Francisco. It's actually what is happening right here in Ayden, because they are very different stories from what I see on the news versus what I actually see in reality.
Exactly. And without further ado, we're going to start with the inventory, because one of the most important things that driving the housing market is really supply and demand. And in Ayden, North Carolina, if we look at the numbers in the months that we just finished, months of July, we had 35 active homes. And the previous month was 37. And last year, this time was 17 homes active.
Right. So for pending, you had 20 homes just went under contract, 12, which was the previous month, and then 13 last year, which means when we looked at active plus pending for this month, we see 55 homes were active plus contracted homes. So it was 55, but then we divide it by the sold homes, which was how much? 15. So if I take 55 divided by 15, what do I get, and what does that matter?
3.67.
And why does that matter?
And this gives us basically the inventory rate. Therefore, as my wife said, the sold home in month of July 2023 was 15 homes. A previous month in June, we had just 6 homes. And a year before, at the same time, we had 10. Which brings us to inventory rate. How was the inventory rate?
Inventory rate for this month was 3.67. The previous month was 8.16. A lot of this is driven by new construction, though.
Exactly.
So I'm going to give you that caveat. There's a lot of new construction happening in Ayden, and we see this in the data. And then also last year, we had 3 months of supply. So if you compare it to last year, the 3.67 is not that much different from this month. But again, last year and this year, what is happening in Ayden? New construction. And there's more to come.
Exactly. There are more to come. And the other factor that driving the market is really average days on the market. And of course, as my wife said, brand new construction.
Brand new construction is typically put into your MLS to be bought when it's dirt, right? So you can buy this home when it's dirt, when there's no home. A lot of people do not buy when it's just dirt. They like to see a frame or something. Some people will, because 31% of America is buying new construction, but it's dirt really. So they stay in the MLS and they stay into there longer because they're waiting to someone to come and buy it. So the average days on the market with new construction is always longer than if somebody puts their house for sale, and then that's over the weekend.
Therefore, average days on the market was 51 last month, and previous months in June was 103, which
again tells us new construction.
Exactly.
And if you look at last year,
and if you're looking at the last year, was just 50 days. Therefore, very small changes from 50 to 51 from the last year.
Now, when we look at these list prices and sales prices, we see major differences as well.
Exactly.
And again, this has been a place of just tremendous growth, and it's a lot of new construction in Ayden. So if you're thinking, I want to, be more country and by the golf course with a bigger spot of land, we tenderly say, let's go check out Ayden. It's just what it is. And it's not that far from Greenville, Winterville, rural area that is getting a lot of new construction.
Exactly.
So July 2023, what was the median list price?
List price was $309,900.
And what was the sale?
Months before was $330,990.
And then last year?
and last year was 294 and 990.
Okay, so the sales price are different. That's why I said 309 was the list price for this month, but 325 was the sales price. Again, a lot of this is going to be new construction. Last year was 339.90. This month it was 302 for the list sales price, 302,944.95. Again, a lot of it, what I said, new construction. And then the list price was $294,990 last year, but it is $254,500 last year, which tells me there was a little bit more pre-owned homes that were sale last year. But let's talk about those numbers detail, because Ayden, unlike other places, do have some duplexes and some places where people can rent or buy like multiple properties, or one.
Exactly. Therefore, now we're going to come to the median price per square feet, which gives you an idea that how you can understand how much this house is going to come and sold for in the market.
Now, what about median for all homes, including condos, townhomes, those duplexes, those triplexes? How much per square foot?
If it's new, $169 per square feet.
But if it's pre-owned, it was $142. However, if we just go to single family homes in Ayden, and we're only looking at single family homes, then if you already own your home in Ayden, and it's a single family home, I would tell you the price per square foot is $155 per square foot, according to the MLS data right now. That doesn't mean that your house will be that. You have to invite us over to say, hey, this is what we can sell it for. But we're just giving you a down and dirty number.
And if it's a single family home, new median price was, again, $169.
Now, how many price reductions?
We had 10 price reduction, which was 150% more than the previous months. And what about sold to listed ratio?
15 to 15.
15 to 15 means 60% decrease of the sold to listed ratio.
Okay, so let's talk about what I told you before. How much supply is in Ayden right now? So for new construction, July 2023,
exactly.
There was 9 months of supply for Ayden. But that's crazy, right? But if you look at pre-owned homes, how many homes are for sale? It's a very small number, 0.5 homes actually for sale in Ayden, which then gives us that 2.7%. But you can see there's just a lot of new construction.
Exactly.
What about last month?
Last month, actually, we had more new construction supply, 11.1 month of supply, and we had more pre-owned home, which is 0.8 months, that comes totally to 2.9 months of the inventory, which we decreased 6.89% in the inventory supply from the previous months.
Now, don't forget, this was a rural town that they're just getting a lot of new construction there. So the new constructions are coming in at the 300,000. It's just what it is. Now, if we take a macro level and we look at a different matrix other than our MLS, because you're going to look at this data, so we should look at their data as well. Exactly. So we pull from Zillow what they say the median home value is of the whole county, of the whole city. And from July 2023, they say 179, 116. What was last month?
The last month actually was 165,518.
Now, month over month can have more dramatic changes. Well, what about last year?
Last year was 166,572.
Now, this is a better matrix to look at what's happening year over year, which is an increase of 9.3%. No,
exactly.
Now, if you're a renter renting in all bedrooms in Ayden right now, which is what?
$950.
Which is one of the cheaper places in the area to be renting. So there is that. Whew, sorry.
Now, we wanted to basically give you some recommendation for home buyers and home sellers, starting with home buyers based on all these numbers. And
I'm going to start with rental market because I'm sorry, I was sneezing. With $950, you're really not going to be able to, there's no houses that are going to match that $950 range. It's just not going to happen with these interest rates and everything else that's happening right now. However, unless you come in with a significant amount of money and then you're not worried because you're just taking a small mortgage, which is fine. Now, on the other side of it, if you can afford more and you want a place of your own, it is actually a great time to buy because there's slightly less competition than last year. There's programs out there to help you get into a home. And then by owning a home, you're going to be building equity. You're going to be building a place for your family. There's so many reasons to afford more if you can. So I do highly recommend it. Exactly. Now you can talk about inventory if you want.
Yes, inventory. And also the home, as you said, the inventory active homes increased 105.9%. But as we said, The inventory rate respect to the last month actually decreased because we had less new construction and also 0.5 months of the inventory for the pre-owned home.
Now, I want to talk about new construction as well again, because new construction is really what is driving Ayden. And it's going to be a much higher price point.
Exactly.
So people are coming to Ayden because they're looking at those new construction homes, those new communities,
and more lands.
and they're and they're going to be a higher price than a previously owned home because it takes a certain amount of budget to buy a home. There's not a lot of negotiation and prices like that way. But it means that you're focusing on a $300,000 or more home if you're looking at new construction.
Exactly.
What about pricing? Because I skipped that.
The pricing.
Yeah.
The pricing, the median sale price, as my wife said before, 27.7% actually increase year over year. And that means that is potential, as also we said, more brand new construction that came to the market that raised basically the square footage of the selling the house.
Now, the last thing I want to talk about is market timing. If you can afford new construction in Ayden, you can take your bit more time because it's a 51-day turnaround right now according to the market. However, if you're thinking I want to buy a previously owned home, that's a very different concern. There's 0.5 months of supply. They're going to sell quicker because, they're more affordable for many people.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about the home sellers, no? What about the demand that we have?
Okay, we just said for buyers, 0.5% months of inventory, even if it's 0.8. Your inventory is a lot of less competition in your price point unless you're in that $300,000 to $400,000 or $500,000 because then you're competing with new construction.
Exactly.
Your home can still sell faster compared to new construction because people can see it, they can walk in it, they can envision themselves in it because you've made it look like a home. However, demand is still there. It's still a good time to sell. You just have to be cognizant of price point, price per square foot, and all of that fun stuff.
Exactly. And as we said, the pricing, actually the sale price increased 20.77%.
Again, that's new construction. A lot of that price increasing though. So you really have to come bring us over so we can talk in detail about your home and what we see, what is going on in the market based on you. Price per square foot, we told you for a previously owned home is going to be $142 or $155 for a previously owned home.
Exactly.
So use that as your benchmark of $155 for single family, $142 for all other homes. Use that as your benchmark when you're thinking how much is your home is worth, and don't just focus on that new construction at that higher number because that's a different beast.
We definitely had more price reduction in previous months, 150%. That means that many of the home seller basically
we're looking at that new construction
or somebody overpriced the house that wanted to sell in the market, which is going to be very important to pay attention to.
Okay, and then lastly, that year-over-year change in median home value is 9.3%, which is a very significant number. So your homes are definitely increasing. All of that new construction is helping what your home appreciate more in value as well, because if all the other homes around your area are becoming something else, it's rising what yours is too. So it's a good thing. And if you want more money for your homes, you can go wherever it is you're going. It's a great time to sell because it is still a seller's market. Buyers are a little bit more cognizant because of those interest rates, but that just means that the serious buyers who are out there are still out there, and you can sell your home accordingly.
Exactly. Do you want to add anything else?
No, I think this has been
awesome.
Great, and I can't wait to show you homes in Ayden.
And if you wanted to sell or buy your home in Ayden, please give us a call at 252-327-3357, Alan Victoria, and we would love to help you. And don't forget to subscribe in our channel and podcast to support us, and have a wonderful and blessed day.
Absolutely.